Hey guys, that computer guy here. Today we're going to be going through application filtering on a FortiGate firewall. We are on my FortiGate 60E version 6.2.1 in my home lab. And as usual, I've started off here with the application control landing page within the firewall. And then over here I have my RDP into my server, which is the VLAN that we're going to be manipulating the traffic on. So as you can see here, application control page has these default application filters built in, except for this top one, which I created, just like the web filtering that we went over last week. And as an example right now, in the policy and objects, here is the firewall rule that's impacting this guy over here, this RDP session. It's currently set up to go from the server LAN to the internet, and there is no application filter applied on the security profiles. However, there is a web filter that only allows the Pirate Bay, right? So we're going to come over here to this RDP session to show what would currently happen without the web filter applied, right? So we're going to search a movie on the Pirate Bay. And eventually it's going to search. Here we go. All right, let's say we want to watch Deadwood the movie. I have no idea what this is, but it'll work. So we're going to get this torrent. It's going to open BitTorrent. We're going to say download. As you can see, these beautiful FortiGuard web filtering banners everywhere from this web filter over here being applied. So that's pretty cool how that works. Even within an application, it'll block things. So as you can see, we did download the torrent, and it is now connecting to peers and streaming this torrent, right? And maybe you're thinking, okay, well, I could have just added the Pirate Bay to my web filter. They'd never be able to get to this page in the first place. True. However, if they brought in a USB or something with the hooks to download these torrents, they wouldn't need to go to the web page, or they proxied around it, they got to the web page, whatever. However they get to the web page or a torrent link, they open it and boom, they can start downloading torrents on your network, right? So we want to stop that. We want to stop this application from ever getting a peer-to-peer connection to establish in the first place. So let's reset this real quick. We're going to come back over here to our firewall, okay? And we're going to come down to the security profiles and go back to this application control page. Now, we would create a new profile. Generally, I recommend you just start creating your own, right? You can understand better how it's applying to the traffic when you just create your own filter as opposed to using some of these pre-built ones. So this is one that I had created. So this is block peer-to-peer applications, right? And you can see there's lots of general categories, okay? So you can, there's like 2,000 predefined signatures, I believe. But let's say I wanted to look at remote access. I could view these signatures. It'll actually show me a list of all the signatures that they've put in this default category. So BombGuard, Chrome Remote Desktop, Citrix Receiver, list goes on, right? Now, this is a significant amount. Fortinet is really good at having a lot of these, predefined filters in here, and they are updated frequently. So generally, if a new remote software comes out, it gets added in here pretty quick, right? But for this video, as you can see, I'm allowing everything except for peer-to-peer applications, which I'm blocking currently. You can allow them, you can monitor them, or you can quarantine them. But let's look at these signatures, right? Because what I have over here is BitTorrent. So is BitTorrent on here? Yes, it is. Now you'll notice right under that, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a really good one to block. You could have rogue users farming some Bitcoin. You could have a malicious infection that's farming Bitcoin unbeknownst to you. You'd never even know it was happening. It's doing it bit by bit, but eventually somebody's getting a penny somewhere, and I guess that's worth breaching people's security. Regardless, application filtering, blocking Bitcoin and all related Bitcoin services or any kind of coin service is a great idea and a great way to start using application filtering, especially if you're nervous about applying it. Just apply it to Bitcoin peer-to-peer services, right? You'll see that it has no real impact, and you might see on the rule that that's getting some hits, and hey, there might be a Bitcoin miner somewhere, and that'll help you identify that within your network. But for this, again, we only care about BitTorrent, right? So we know it's in here. Now let's say you had some obscure application that wasn't in here and you wanted to block it. You can view this application signature list. This is the full list, which, as you can see, there are 2,098 signatures predefined within a FortiGate. You can create a new one, you can name it, and you can put the full signature in here, and you can add it to the list and block the application yourself. So it is very versatile. So again, we're going to be blocking peer-to-peer with our rule. I could create an override, okay? So if I want to do a custom, let's say I want to block all peer-to-peer, but I want to allow BitTorrent, or a better example would probably be something like remote access, where I would come in and I would set remote access to block, but I might create a filter override to allow the one remote access software that my users use, right? So we will get into these in another video, in a more advanced filtering video. I plan on going back through each one of these filters and the profiles and going through some of these more advanced options. But for all intensive purposes, in a basic setup where you're trying to get used to application filtering, web filtering, etc., a lot of times you can leave these things default. So again, we're going to block peer-to-peer, okay? Now let's say we hit apply, we would get pushed back to this page, and you would now see your block peer-to-peer applications application filter here, okay? So now we need to apply that to some traffic. So what better to apply it to than the RDP session over here that's set up just to demonstrate this. So we have the server LAN going to Comcast, and we're going to edit this rule, right? And we would like to apply our application control filter, and we are going to block peer-to-peer applications, as is the filter that we created. And we're going to click OK. Now you give it a few moments, and it's going to start recognizing any kind of peer-to-peer application connection via signature, and it will drop that traffic, okay? So the Pirate Bay is still going to function as normal. The Pirate Bay is not a peer-to-peer application. However, what it's trying to launch and use in BitTorrent is a peer-to-peer application, and it will be broken. So let's give this a couple more seconds to apply. As you note here, this block all except Pirate Bay web filter is applied, and I did do a demonstration of how to do the web filtering and this filter specifically in my previous video. So if you guys enjoy these informational videos, feel free to check that out. So let's come over here. Hopefully it's applied by now, and we're going to do another pirate search for movie. And let's come down here. Let's not go too far down the rabbit hole, which is something that you learn on the internet. Let's look for The Simpsons. Okay, we're gonna get this torrent. Okay, it's gonna open BitTorrent. Yep, we want that one. We want to watch The Simpsons. So now we wait for The Simpsons to download. And it's not downloading. What's happening in the background? All of these connections are being dropped. So the firewall sees this trying to reach out, says, hey, you're trying to make a peer connection. You have a BitTorrent signature. See you later. Drops packet. Okay? So now you've rendered BitTorrent useless. Even though they can get to the torrent links, they might be able to bring a USB in with the torrent links on them. It doesn't matter, because BitTorrent and all its associated signatures and the other 55 peer-to-peers in that filter are applied, and they are being blocked, and it is dropping that traffic. So that's how you use application filtering on the FortiGate. I hope you guys are enjoying this video series. I do enjoy making them. I love to teach. Hopefully one day I will be teaching this stuff at a college somewhere. But in the meantime, I am over at Data Partner, and I do contract work with them. So my information is in the description of all my videos. Feel free to reach out to myself or my company and chat more if you have questions or anything. My knowledge is always free. So thank you for watching the series, and please follow me if you enjoy it. Thank you.